anytime you have two top 20 teams that are, playing one another this early in the season, it makes for some really good women's basketball. And so really appreciate our fans, Hoosier Nation, showing up in a big way. We needed them. We needed their energy throughout. Our guys play off of their energy, and so that was great to see. But I thought there were really, some really good things that happened inside of this game. We had some missteps as well. We wanted to handle their pressure a little bit better. And when I say a little bit better, we had a few turnovers inside of the press, but I wanted to see us flow a little bit better offensively, and I didn't think that that happened as well as we would have liked to have had it happen. But I do think that it's early, and we will continue to get better on that side of the ball. I thought defensively we did some really good things. Ryan Howard is a really great player, and she puts a lot of pressure on you, not just to guard her individually, but it's like you all have to guard her. And she's a willing passer. So as great as she is at scoring the ball, she's also a great facilitator. And so she puts a lot of pressure on you. And I think our defense will continue just to get better and improve. This is a great win for us tonight at home in front of our home crowd against a really good Kentucky team.
Questions?
Your players already talked about kind of pay attention to all the polls and rankings, but obviously it's already the highest ranking you have ever had. To be a top 20, the top 15 team by 20 or so points, what kind of statement does that make for you guys of what you've already had and now continuing to do?
Well, that's something that we do not, pay any attention to. We never have since we've been here, and we've been ranked before, it's nice to have national attention. There's no doubt about it. It helps with a lot of things, especially the recruiting piece. What I love about our group is just the humility that this group has always had, and I think that starts with your leader in Allie Patberg and obviously Grace Berger and Mac. They just want to work. They love the game. They're passionate about the game. They want to improve, and they have a group around them with Nikki and Alexa and some of those other pieces that we have that. They've enjoyed what we were able to accomplish last year. They got a nice taste of it. So this is a determined team. We came back from San Antonio disappointed that we didn't make the extra step to get into the Final Four. And, last year we went down to Kentucky and led for 75% of that game and found a way to lose it. So for us to make this right tonight, I think is a step in the right direction. But, we're going to keep doing what we do. And we are a program that does not look ahead. Our next game is Tuesday night, and we'll enjoy this one tonight, and then we'll get back to work. This is a busy week for the Hoosiers.
Yeah, Holmes, Berger, Patberg, you just talked about it. Those are your three big names. They're your three leading scorers tonight. What does it mean to have them show up at a game as big as this?
Well, they better, Mac, I thought she started off really, obviously on fire. And, and I hope this comes out the right way. I expect that from them, right? Because I know they've put in the work. And I know that, and our staff knows that they're talented. It's just making sure that, whether we're play calling over there on the sideline or sometimes just allowing them to play, they'll figure it out. I thought Nikki was great tonight, though, right? In terms of her ability to facilitate, hit ahead, really put pressure on them. We wanted to dictate the pace from the beginning. We've always been a team that's had tremendous endurance, and that has a lot to do with Kevin, and I've talked about him a lot, our strength and conditioning coach. But, you have to have someone like Nikki who always has, her head up and wants to pass that thing ahead. And she got us some really easy buckets tonight that Mac benefited off of. Mac also is committed to running the floor. But that's what I expect from those guys. I'm not surprised any time that they score the ball the way they did tonight. But I need Lex. I need Lex to still average. I want her to average double-double. That's my goal for Alexa Gulbe this season. I'd love to. She was what, 8 points or 8 total points, 9 rebounds if I read that right. She's really close, but we need her to capitalize. She goes 4 for 7. I thought she missed a couple chippies, and she could have easily have had started off with a double-double tonight. So we're going to keep encouraging her, but also challenging her because I think she is a really good basketball player as well.
Question over here to your left, Skip.
Coach, congratulations
Skip,
on the
thank
win. What an incredibly physical matchup. A lot of whistles. Of course, the double technical. At one point, you actually had to pick up Grace off the floor. Talk about the tenacity of your team battling through and increasing that lead that was minuscule at one point and growing it in the third and fourth quarters.
Well, I think, it has a lot to do with the Big Ten. Our league is physical, right? And so I think we're kind of used to the physicality that we see night in and night out. But I think the Big Ten has always prepared us for games like this where it can get a little chippy. It's hard, though, when there's a lot of whistles. It's hard to get any momentum. It's hard to get any pace. And so that was a little bit frustrating. I think it was frustrating for Kentucky as well. I think both teams wanted just an easy flow back and forth, but that's not the way the game was called tonight. But you have to adjust. You have to adapt. I'm not sure what happened with Pat Berg. It's very uncommon for Allie to be chippy. And matter of fact, I don't even know if she said anything. I just think that it looked, I think from the officials' perspective, like they were jawing back and forth. But typical Allie, apologetic, and she said, Coach, I really didn't say anything to her, but whatever. We wanted to play on and so forth. But just give our kids credit, Skip. I mean, that's just kind of who they are. We're blue collar. We know who we are.
Question in the center, Nina.
Hi, congrats, Coach.
Thank you.
So last week you talked about the depth of the team with Chloe and Keandra, and they played a good deal of minutes today. So what did you see from them that you didn't see in the last 2 games?
Well, I think they're so steady, for one. A lot of times when KB's on the floor, she's usually in there with other starters, that guard group of Grace and Nikki and Allie. And so, she certainly doesn't get her number called as much as Mac does, but she holds set for us. She really does. I mean, she doesn't do anything out of the ordinary. She just does her job. And that's for her to get in and guard and rebound. And then she's probably by far our best screener. And so offensively on the other side of that, she knows her role, and she always just plays inside of herself. She's a very emotional kid too, so she's always hunting out opportunities to position herself to take charges, which she did in the first half, which is always really important for us defensively. And I was happy with the way Chloe, I got on her. Some of the stuff that we run, I felt like she needed to be more assertive in terms of, she got a couple back cuts tonight, and that's just off of pure speed, but she didn't capitalize. She got blocked once, and I think she got fouled on the second. But we need her to put those in. And so she'll continue as she gets minutes for us as we move forward. It's game 1, of a long season, or game 2 of a long season. So she's going to continue to get minutes, and I think it'll be exciting, for everybody to watch her grow this year.
Haley and then Ari.
So there were many fans that came out tonight, which was wonderful, but you also had 30 special fans, the alumni that came
Sure.
to celebrate you for
Yeah.
50 years. So as a coach, how great was it to play in front of those women who built this program?
I'm glad you asked that. I appreciate the question because, it's been a weekend for them. So it started off Friday night. We had a nice dinner for them where we could recognize them. And then they went, to the football game and did some tailgating. And then certainly tonight, they were here up in the 76 room first, and then, obviously got introduced at halftime. And so, as I said to them, it started somewhere, right? Our job is just to take the torch and continue to build this program and ultimately just make them proud of the product that we're putting out on the floor. So, they are as competitive no matter what year they graduated. That group Friday night was as competitive, as we are right now currently. And so they really are really proud, right, of what we're doing, and excited. But it also gives our players an opportunity to kind of fellowship and meet those, those ladies that have come before them. And, like I said in my earlier statement, it had to be built by somebody, right? And so those are sort of our pioneers that our kids should be, and I know they are, grateful for. Sooner or later, Allie Patberg will come back and be an alum, and Grace Berger, and all of our young kids always will have somebody to aspire to not just be like, but also want them to feel the satisfaction that I think our alums right now are feeling about the direction of our program.
Ari and then Luke.
I know
All right.
you're going to hate to look this far ahead because it's so far out, but this win is going to help you get a seeding in the NCAA tournament, maybe the top 4 you want. I mean, it's way early to look, but this turned out for men's soccer, that opening win over Notre Dame is probably going to be the difference between getting a bye. So while it's early, how big is it to get this win for seeding later in the NCAA tournament?
Well, you're right. I hate that question. But I appreciate it. It's too far out, right? Ari, you know better than that. Like I said, we're a program that, we're going to take it one game at a time. And as long as we're doing what we have to do, then all that other stuff will take care of itself. That's just how it works. And last year would have been a great example. We did what we needed to do. And if we would have had the opportunity, if it hadn't been COVID, we would have, been in a situation where we could have hosted for the first time. But that wasn't, the case. But certainly that would be something, we always talk about that because it is such an advantage on the women's basketball side, and I think it would be exciting for our fans as well. But maybe we can go back to that question a little bit further down the road, in terms of being able to host here. But it's always a goal for us, no doubt.
Question back. Luke.
Kentucky just seemed to occasionally lose track of Mackenzie Holmes, and she just kept finding ways to score. From your perspective, what did Mackenzie really contribute to this win today?
Well, she scored 27 points, so I think is that right? 29, sorry. I bring these and I don't use them. So there's 29 points that she scored with 7 rebounds. I think she's just a threat. I mean, she's a kid that you have to pay attention to. And, it's great to have a post player, a low block player like Mac who puts so much pressure on the other team. But again, give credit to her guards, give credit to Nikki. As I said earlier, Mac's a kid that's committed to running the floor. And so I think we just outlasted them. Like I said, I talk about endurance, but really we just kept telling Mac, just keep running, just run. And Nikki and our guards will find you with some hit-aheads. And, that was the case for sure.
Last question. Mike, do you have a question? Or your hand still raised from earlier?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it fair to say that you guys are more committed to pushing the tempo offensively this year? And how much of that is because of Mackenzie that she's able to run better than she was?
Well, I think we're a team that's always, wanting to run. We talk all the time, especially in recruiting, about playing downhill. Really, again, I'm going to go back. Mac obviously did a terrific job, but you have to have point guards that are catching the ball on the run like Nikki is and always looking ahead. I give Nikki a lot of credit. She's really the one that sets our tempo. And in last year, I think Allie played a lot of the point early on, and then once we got Nikki to be eligible, then we moved AP off the ball a little bit or a lot. And I think our transition offense improved just with having the ball in Nikki's hands. And so you have to have 5 out there that are committed to running and the floor, and you have to have a willing passer in your point guard. And the good thing is we have that, and we rep it every day. That's how we're going to play. And that was one of the things that we loved about Mac when we recruited her several years ago in AAU basketball, was just her willingness to always try to be the first one down the floor. And if you ever watch her run off the floor right before tip-off, she and Allie are in a dead sprint always. And I just think that's kind of who Mac is. She sprints a lot of places, and so she puts a lot of pressure on you though, because you gotta stay with her. And I think I'll just say this, and I'll end. That's one of the reasons why she changed her body the way she did, because she wanted to stay on the floor longer and have more endurance and more stamina to be able to help her guards in terms of running the floor and putting pressure on other defenses.